All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are tackling a topic that is literally reshaping our world as we speak, the ethics of artificial intelligence. I mean, there's just no denying it, right? AI is one of the most powerful forces in business and innovation today. It's making operations way more efficient, creating totally new ways of doing business, and it's behind some of the biggest decisions in everything from our health to our finances.
And that right there is the heart of the matter. As these AI systems get smarter and more independent, we're suddenly facing these huge ethical questions that we absolutely cannot afford to ignore.
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's not just about who can build the most powerful AI. It's about who can build the most responsible AI. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how to do that. Okay, let's dive into this. To really get a handle on what's at stake, we first have to look at the sheer scale of AI adoption and, the two-sided reality that it creates.
The money involved is just mind-boggling. In 2024 alone, global investment in AI blew past $500 billion. So yeah, this is not some niche tech anymore. This is a fundamental part of the entire global economy.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how this captures the two sides of the same coin. For every incredible promise AI offers, there's a serious risk lurking right behind it. Sure, it can streamline your operations, but it can also bake in terrible bias. It can create amazing customer experiences, but it might violate their privacy to do it. This isn't just some academic exercise. This is the central tightrope that every single company using AI has to walk.
And this is a perfect and kind of scary illustration of that risk. A huge company built an AI to help screen resumes. The problem? It was trained on 10 years of hiring data from a male-dominated field. So the AI taught itself that men were better candidates. It literally started penalizing resumes that had the word women's in them and downgrading people from 2 all-women's colleges. So instead of removing bias, it just put it on steroids.
So, if those are the dangers, what's the fix? How do we put up some guardrails? Well, the answer lies in a really clear, actionable framework that's built on 5 key principles.
So how do we build those guardrails? Well, it all boils down to these 5 core principles you see here: fairness, transparency, accountability, privacy, and safety. I want you to think of these as the absolute pillars for building trustworthy AI. They're not just buzzwords, they are the roadmap for navigating all the complexity we've just been talking about. Let's take a quick look at what each one actually means.
First up, fairness. This is all about making sure that an AI system doesn't just copy or, even worse, amplify the inequalities that already exist in our society. It means you have to actively check your data and your algorithms to make sure the results are fair for everyone, no matter who they are.
Next, we've got transparency. Some of these advanced AI systems are so complex, they become what people call a black box. Basically, data goes in, a decision comes out, but what happens in the middle is a complete mystery, sometimes even to the people who built it. Transparency is the cure for that. It means we have to be able to pop the hood and understand why the AI made the decision it did.
And here's exactly why that's so important. Imagine an AI denies your loan application. You have a right to know why, right? Was it your credit score, your income, something else? If there's no transparency, you have no way to challenge that decision or fix the mistake. It just leaves you completely powerless. Which brings us right to accountability. Look, when an AI that drives on its own makes a bad call and causes harm, who's responsible? Is it the programmer who wrote that line of code? The company who put it on the road? The AI itself? Accountability means you've got a clear answer to that question before anything has a chance to go wrong.
The fourth principle here is privacy. I mean, AI systems are data hungry. They run on massive amounts of it, and a lot of that data is deeply personal. This principle is all about making sure that data is handled the right way. It has to be collected with permission, stored safely, and only used for what it was meant for, following rules like GDPR.
And finally, safety. This one is absolutely critical, especially in high-stakes situations. Think about an AI that's helping a surgeon in an operating room, or one that's piloting a car. It has to be tested like crazy to make sure it works reliably and that it has backup plans to prevent it from causing any harm.
So, that's all the theory. But what happens when you actually put these principles into practice? Do they really make a difference? Well, as we're about to see, the data says, oh yeah, a resounding yes. This slide is fantastic because it shows you the cold, hard results. Check this out.
A customer service company used fair AI chatbots, and complaints about biased treatment plummeted by 70%. A tech company used an ethical AI in their hiring process, and they saw a 35% jump in the diversity of their candidates. And in healthcare, an AI built with these principles in mind actually cut down on care disparities by 25%. The numbers here really don't lie.
So, here's the bottom line. Building AI ethically isn't about hitting the brakes on innovation. Not at all. It's about making it better. It builds trust with your customers, it lowers your legal and reputational risks, and at the end of the day, it just leads to better, more solid technology. Okay, this brings us to the final and I think most important part. How can companies and developers actually start building this responsible future? Well, it comes down to a few practical, concrete steps.
Building trustworthy AI is a lot like building a strong house. It all starts with the foundation. That's your governance, creating ethics boards. Then you build on top of that by weaving ethics right into the design process itself. Each one of these is a crucial building block, constantly checking for bias, being open and honest with your users, and always keeping an eye on new rules and regulations. This is how you build a future we can all count on.
And all of this leaves us with one last critical question to think about. In this mad dash to build smarter, faster, more capable tech, are we remembering to build it right? Because honestly, creating AI that's just powerful, that's the easy part. Creating AI that's also responsible, that's the real challenge. And that is the real prize. Thanks for watching.